I know, boys. Yeah! Good on you, Thomas Burgess! Good on you, Tommy! South Sydney! Yes! Yes! Go! Yes! South Sydney! South Sydney! South Sydney! South Sydney! South Sydney! Go! Go! Yes! 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 Go! Yes! Yes! Good on you, Joy! Let's go, boys! South Sydney! South Sydney! South Sydney! South Sydney! Go! Go! Yes! Yes! Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another NRL Rounds Tips video, and welcome back to the YouTube channel of Cody's Footy World. Hope you guys are doing very well on this very lovely Tuesday evening. Once again, we got another round of footy to cover, but a little bit different this time, which I'll get into in just a very second. Welcome back to another NRL live stream and round 12 tips of the 2025 season. Oh boy, 11 rounds. We've gone through the footy season so quick. I think it just started last week, but yes, we've gone through 11 rounds. We're seeing a lot of crazy games, crazy upsets, few smash outs, and comeback galores as well throughout this season as well. We're almost halfway through the season as well, and this round 12 is the first Origin affected round. Game 1 kicks off next Wednesday night. Queensland and New South Wales up at Suncorp Stadium for the first game of the State of Origin series. But anyways, we'll talk about State of Origin throughout the video and throughout the stream, and I will do a preview and review of State of Origin Game 1 sometime later in the week or next week before it kicks off. But anyways, guys, before we get into the round 12 tips, if you guys are new around here, don't forget to like the stream or like the video. If you're watching this back to the video, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new around here. And don't forget to comment down below in the live chat or in the comment section after the video if what your tips are for round 12. We've only got 5 games on our hands this week, which it's a bit ordinary, but that's how Origin is. So 5 games, 7 teams have got the bye this week, including yours truly, Rabbits. Rabbits having their first bye of the season as well, finally, after a very great, gritty and great win over the Tigers. If you guys have not yet seen my vlog between the Tigers and the Rabbitohs, make sure you guys go check it out after this. I did upload it late this morning, early this afternoon. It was such a great game, and one of the best games been to this year. But overall, good result. At least we won. We're back in the top 8 and will remain in the top 8 after the bye as well. And hello to Josh as well in the live chat there. We can just chill this week because our boys have the bye. Can't believe it's round 12. 2 more points for us. Yes, indeed, Josh. That is correct, mate. Extra 2 points. We'll be on 14 points. We'll remain in the top 8 regardless. I think we'll stay in 7th, I believe as well. But anyways, with that out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the round 12 NRL tips. And our first game kicks off on Thursday night. We've finally got a Thursday night game finally after the last 2 weeks we haven't. The first game kicks off at 7:50 p.m. between the first place Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs and the 14th place Dolphins. Now, last week, the Got Bulldogs coming off a comeback win over the Roosters, winning 24-20. They're now 9 wins and one loss. Crazy to think about after they made the top 8 last year. Didn't think they would be doing this well, but heavens they are. And I can say this now, they're confirmed locked in for finals. There, I've said it now. Even though if they lose like the next 6 games or whatever, they'll still make it no matter what. And as for the Dolphins, late resurgence in the second half against the Warriors, and yet still went on to lose 16-12. Honestly, they should not have scored at all in that game, but they were lucky enough to run away with 2 tries in the end just to fall short to the Warriors. And the Warriors have won now 5 in a row, which we'll get to them very soon. Now let's go through the team changes, and not much for the Dolphins, but the Bulldogs on here on the other hand, we've got quite a few to get through. So with the Dogs first up, Stephen Crichton, Max King, and Kurt Mann are on origin duty, and Jacob Carraz and Daniel Saluka Fafita gone with injury. Latter Lees will be filling up a new outfit this week. Josh Curran does return from his 3-game suspension. Leo Hopperada is the other prop. Blake Wilson also comes onto the wing. Bailey Hayward starts at lock. Ooh, all right, interesting. And Blake Taft lines up for us in the centre. In the centres. Okay, I haven't seen Blake Taft in the centres before for his first game of the season. Jack Turpin and Sam Hughes are the new faces on the bench for their first game for 2025. And as for the Dolphins, I believe they've only got one change. Jake Averillo will wear the number 1 with the hammer on origin duty for the Maroons. And Max Fiene returns into the centres for his debut game as a Dolphin. Tom Gilbert has suffered a pectoral injury, which is really unfortunate, which sees Kemua Lemienu promoted to the starting side. And Oiling clearly added to the bench. Kui Furiaki has been selected for Queensland's extended squad, but is expected to play on Thursday. Sean O'Sullivan is 18th man. So only the one change there for the Dolphins playing for origin duty, and that's the hammer. And the Dogs have got 3 players on origin duty. Not the most for a team, but they want one of the most teams, on one of the teams have the most players out. But regardless of who the Dogs fulfill in this game anyway, I'll still back the Dogs for this one no matter what. Doesn't matter who they have in or out. They've been playing well. You can't go against the Dogs. Dogs will win this one though. 1-12 though. We'll take this serious. Even though it's origin affected, I reckon all these games, except one, I reckon they'll all be close. So Dogs to win by 6. Scoreline 24-18. First try scorer comes from the Dolphins, from Isaiah Katoa. And anytime try scorers, we'll go for Yami Kikau. And we'll also go Herbie Farmworth to score. So Dolphins to win the first game to open up round 12, 1-12. And now we move into our only Friday night game. Kicking off at 8 p.m, we have a rivalry game. We have the battle of the 1947 teams, East versus West, I should say West versus North, rather. Northern Beaches versus Parramatta. We have the 16th place Parramatta Eels, 6th place Manly Sea Eagles. I can't believe I stuffed that one up there. Last week, Parramatta, they had a very, very impressive win over the Knights. I mean, Knights have been playing like shit, but good on the Eels, winning 28.6 up there at the Hunter last week. And as for Manly, they did very impressive against the Cowboys, although they did look a bit out there, winning 24 points to 6 up at Queensland Country Bank Stadium, which marks Manly winning 4-0 against the Cowboys up at the new stadium, which is funny to think about. Now let's go through the team list for both teams. And for the Eels, they've got 2 players in Origin. Mitchell Moses and Zach Lomax returns to Blues camp. So we will see Dean Hawkins come in for his 5th game of the season at halfback, or Sean Russell moves onto the wing, and Jordan Samarani starts in the centres. Kalmatangi returns from suspension, pushes Luca Morelli back to the bench. Mac Dory also gets a spot on the bench after dropping back to New South Wales Cup in a late shuffle last week. And as for Manly, as we know, the Maroons captain Daly Cherry Evans will not be playing in this game. Jake Arthur will steer the ship in the absence of his place. Jazz Tavanga shifts to lock, while Jack Travojevic is unfortunately concussed. Jake Simpkins starts at hooker after coming off the bench last week. Matt Lodge has been named on the interchange for his first game of the year since last year's semi-final. And Homole Olokoladu will be released to play for Manly this week. Lachlan Croker makes his return from a knee injury on the bench, and Tom Dvojevic will also captain the side this week as well. So, not surprising that Turbo is not playing for Origin, but him being the Manly side definitely helps Manly's chances to win this week, and that's what I'm going to go with as well. Manly to win this one in a close game on the 12th. Now, there's a stat here that Manly, since they've been playing Parramatta at CommBank, they are only 1-5. So they've won one game and lost 5. The losses have been close, most of them, but I think they'll break the streak here. And Manly to win by 8, scoreline 20-14, without Moses really and I guess Zach Lomax in a way as well. I think Para won't look good, but you never know. But Manly to win this one. First try scorer comes from, we'll go Homole Olokoladu. And anytime try scorers, we'll go Josh Adokar. And for Manly, we'll go Jason Saab to score as well. So Manly to win, 1-12. Now if we move into our Super Saturday games. There are 2 games happening on Super Saturday. The first game at 5:30 p.m. we head to regional New South Wales once again to Carrington Park in Bathurst. We have the 13th place Penrith Panthers playing against the 15th place Newcastle Knights. Last week's game, Newcastle playing like shit again as always, losing 28-6 to the Eels. And as for the Panthers, they were coming off their first. Sorry, that's wrong. Sorry. They had the bye start last week. My apologies, but the week before they played in Magic Round and they dominated the Broncos, winning 32 points to 8, which was excellent to see. And as for the team list for both teams, Panthers are a major reshuffle here, that's for sure. All right, let's go through the team list for both of the teams. Brad Snyder's been promoted to halfback as Nathan Cleary is in Origin camp, while Dane Laurie is the new fullback for fulfilling Dylan Edwards as he's in Origin camp as well. Thomas Jenkins replaces Brian Toto on the wing, while Casey McLean comes into the centres, and Luke Garner moves into the back row in place of Liam Martin. Isaiah Yeo will lead the Blues in Origin 1. Lindsay Smith comes into lock, and Matt Heising starts at prop. 3 new faces on the bench in Luke Summerton, Preston Ricky, and Jack Cole. So there you go. Nathan Cleary, Isaiah Yeo, Dylan Edwards, Liam Martin, all gone for this game. So that for Origin camp. And as for the Knights, Fletcher Sharp has been shifted to fullback in the absence of Callum Ponga. Tyson Gamble moves to 5'8", and Jack Cogger at halfback. Kyle McCarthy comes into the centre for a second NRL game. Dylan Lucas returns to the back row, and Thomas Cant back to the bench. Leo Thompson is back from a head knock, taking over Jacob Saifidi, who unfortunately suffered an injury. Jacob Hendrickson dropped to 18th minute. So only Callum Ponga is playing for the Maroons for the Knights, and Brandon Best and that are still out injured. And that's for this game. Even with so many out for the Panthers, I reckon Panthers are going to win this one. Panthers to win 13 plus. I know I'm taking a risk here, but Newcastle have just been playing terrible. And out at Bathurst as well. This is not the first time these two have played at Bathurst as well. Panthers to win by 22 points. We're going to go 34-12 scoreline. First try scorer. This one's going to be a doozy. We will go, I reckon Paul Olamonte scores first. Anytime try scorers, we will go, we'll go Mitch Kenny. And for the Knights, we'll go Dane Gagai. So Panthers to win this one in a huge flogging by 13 plus. Panthers to win. And now we move into our finals Super Saturday game, kicking off at 7:35 p.m. from Industry Group Stadium up here in Gosford. I live up on the Central Coast, so quite good. We've got 2 games happening up here on the Central Coast this year. The other one is the Rabbitohs Sharks happening later in the year. And as for last week, the Sharks coming off a very impressive win over the Storm, although they almost blew it. They led 25-12 at halftime, and they let the Storm get 2 quick tries within the first 10 minutes of the second half. and they were just lucky to hold on to beat the Storm 31-26. And as for the Roosters, they led 14-0 against the Bulldogs last week, and they choked and lost 24 points to 20. Very enjoyable game as well, but fortunately, Roosters, they got a bit too ego there, and they just lost. Now let's go through the team list for both of the teams, shall we? All right, so with the Roosters, they got 5 players on Origin duty. So we see Dom Young, Makahia Makatoa, Sassili Foketi, Bayani Loliu. Sorry if I butchered these names wrong. And Taya Lassalu into the 17. Young will play his first game since round 7, and Mark Narkwa moves to the centres to replace Robert Turvey, who is debuting in the Maroons. Nat Butcher returns after 3 games out with a knee injury, and Oliwa makes his NRL debut off the bench. Ethan King is 18th man, and the Rodwell brothers, Toby and Thomas, are a part of the extended squad. As for the Sharks, Jesse Ramian has been named despite sustaining an eye injury against the Storm, but Sam Stonestreet is facing 6 to 8 weeks with a high-grade cystinosis injury. One of their best players in that Sharks side, unfortunately, will be missed. Murray Holrighty comes into the side for his first game since round 8 after recovering from a knee injury. Tate Wilton is pushing for a return from a shoulder injury and is part of the extended squad. Thomas Haston remains sidelined with a sternum problem. This game, I reckon, is going to be quite close. As many people would think Sharks will win easily, but the Sharks have been good this year, but they've been winning only close games, honestly. And as for this game, Rich, I will tip the Sharks to win this one. To win by 4 points, we're going to go 28-24 scoreline, so a bit of a high-scoring game. Honestly, first try scorer comes from the Roosters. We'll go James Tedesco to score first. Anytime try scorers go Egan Butcher, and we'll also go Britton Nakora, so back-to-back roles this week. So Sharks then wins one in a close game, 1-12. And now we move into our final game of round 12. Only 5 games up this week, and the only Sunday fixture game, and the only day game as well. Funny enough. So kicking off at 4:05 p.m. from Mount Smart Stadium, and also 6:05 p.m. over there in New Zealand. We have the second place New Zealand Warriors against the third place Canberra Raiders in a top 4 blockbuster encounter. Last week, the Warriors almost blew a 16-0 deficit. They were lucky to hold on to win 16 points to 12. They should have let Dolphins not score. And as for the Raiders, put on a really high-scoring game against the Titans. It was looking like it was going to be a repeat of their first game against each other back earlier in the year, but it wasn't. Raiders going on the win, 40 points to 24 after redeeming themselves after getting flogged 32-20 and a 20-point at halftime in last week's game. But this is going to be such a cracking contest. This really is going to be the toughest game to tip for this week, in my opinion. Now let's go through the team list for both of the players, and I'll start off with the bat here. Both teams have only got 1 player out for Origin. Mitchell Barnett for the Warriors and Hudson Young for the Raiders. For New South Wales, so they don't lose too much experience this time, but there's been a few changes to the Warriors side, and we'll go over it now. So the first one sees with Bunny Afua, a follow-up returning from an injury, Jackson Ford from concussion to fill in by the front row, James Fisher-Harris, who has been suspended, and Mitchell Barnett on Origin duty. Ali Ati is listed among the reserves as he looks to return from ankle injury suffered in round 8. As for the Raiders, Hudson Young is out with Origin camp, which will see Simi Salagasi moves into the starting side, and 20-year-old Noah Martin joins the bench for his NRL debut. And all the buys for this week, we have the Broncos, the Cowboys with their first one, Dragons with their second one, I think, Rabbits first one, Melbourne second one, Tigers first one, and the Titans second one as well. And for score for this game, this one's tough, but I will back the Warriors, even though the Warriors are coming off 5 in a row, which is very impressive. They've been only winning close games, but Raiders have been a little bit more vulnerable. I like to losing margins and that this year, so we'll back the Warriors in this one, but I won't be surprised if the Raiders win. Warriors to win by 6, 24, no, no, 20, 22-16 scoreline. First try scorer comes from the Raiders from Xavier Savage. Anytime try scorers, we'll go Jackson Ford, and we'll also go Joseph Tarpany from the Raiders as well. So Warriors to win this one, a close game, 1-12. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to pretty much wrap up the round 12 2025 tips. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new around here, and don't forget to comment down below what your tips are for the round 12, or if you're in the comment section if you're watching this back as a video. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Good luck to the teams that are playing this week and your teams as well. Hopefully, you can get a perfect round with 5 out of 5. Doesn't have to be 8 out of 8, but if you need a perfect round, then this is the one. And I got 5 out of 8 last week as well, which I forgot to mention at the start. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching. No footy for me this week. We'll be just relaxing this week. But we'll be heading back down to Sydney next week for sure. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching. See you on the next one.